Good morning, here is my outfit of the day. Today I am wearing jeans because it is Friday. These are my jeans that I always wear from Old Navy. I am wearing a white t-shirt. It's a v-neck t-shirt that I bought from Target. And I am wearing it with this yellow, black, white, and gray blanket scarf that I bought from like a Daily Deals online shop a couple years ago. I think I paid $10 for it. And then I'm wearing this jacket from Old Navy. I will probably keep this on all day today because it is cold and windy here in Southern California. And I'm wearing some fake combat boots. They lace up in the front, but they actually zip up on the side. And I bought those from Macy's. I think I bought those for Black Friday last year, and these were about $25, I think. And then of course I'm wearing a watch, my silver watch. It's a Fossil watch, and that is it. So I will talk to you guys a little bit later.
Well, hello, it is 8:46. This scarf is really doing a lot. And we've already had a scheduling issue. So we are on inclement weather for PE, which means if it's raining, if it's too windy outside, if it's too hot outside, the kids have to go indoors and the schedule changes. Like a couple of grade levels have to double up so that the PE teachers can get through every class with the schedule changes. And today, as I said, as I was leaving for work, it is cold out here for us now. It's not freezing, it's probably in the 50s, but that is cold for us in Southern California. And it's quite breezy, which makes it even colder. So the kids are on inclement weather schedule so that they can be in the cafeteria. And since PE's in the cafeteria, it has to be done by a certain time to accommodate for lunchtime. And for 5th grade, when we're on inclement weather, on Wednesdays, if there's inclement weather, then our PE time changes. But on Fridays, if it's inclement weather, our PE time doesn't change, and that's what I thought. And so I went to double check that with the office, but then they told me no. And then, even though I was convinced that that was the case before, I suddenly thought, well, maybe I'm wrong. So we took our class to PE, and the PE teacher was like, whoa, these are not the grade levels that are supposed to be here. But the grade levels that were supposed to be there were not there, because I think everybody was looking at the schedule wrong and looking at the Wednesday inclement weather schedule, if that all makes sense. But anyway, long story short, my kids are at PE right now. Technically they're supposed to be at PE this afternoon, but we're just gonna go with it. So I am finally at my desk entering all the grades that I have recorded since the 2nd trimester started. And I just thought I'd check in really quick to tell you how I choose to keep track of my grades. So some people are of the thought where they will grade something and then just immediately put in the computer, which is perfectly fine. I like to personally grade things and keep record of it, just so that I can ensure that I turn the graded work back, because I know how teaching is, and sometimes you're able to grade things really quickly and sometimes you're not. So I think by keeping record of it, I don't hold on to things that I've graded because I'm holding on to them to wait to get them in the computer. It allows me to grade it and get rid of it because I have record of what the grade was. So that was one of the main reasons why I chose to get Erin Condren teacher planner, because before I had my plans on planbook.com actually, and then I had a whole separate record book, and I had a whole separate thing for keeping track of dates and calendars. And then I chose to get this because I wanted everything to be in one location. So my calendars are in here, my lesson plans are in here, and my record. So Erin Condren, or this teacher planner, comes with these checklist sheets that look like this. And I just ordered extra ones because I just wanted to make sure I had plenty to last me through the school year. And what I like to do, or what I use these for, is this is my record book. So I use it this way. Let me make sure I don't show any student name. So up at here, or up at the top, is the assignment. So I usually put the assignment, how many points is it worth, and that's really it. Like, that's enough for me to know what category it goes in. And then I put the student grades here. One of the other reasons why I like this better than a regular record keeping book is because the boxes are nice and large, because I write a little bit on the bigger side. And then once I have entered it into the computer, then I'll highlight it. So that's why there's highlights there. So I know if I've highlighted it, that's already been entered into the system. And this works well for me because, like I said, I'm able to return things, and if I ever need to refer back to see what a student got on a certain assignment, I always have it with me. So that is how I'm gonna spend my prep time this morning. And I don't know if I showed you this, but here's another one of my Starbucks mugs. These, like I said, have become my new obsessions. I didn't need it, but it was cute. So I'm gonna get back to work. I just thought I'd check in with you since I gotta make sure I say something to you guys every single day for Vlogmas. But anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. It's about 2:50. School just got out about 5 minutes ago. I am just trying to straighten up before I go to an IEP meeting. I have one at 3 o'clock. Mrs. Chu's at the door. Anyway, I just had to debrief with Mrs. Chu for a quick second. I have an IEP that I need to be at in about 5 minutes. So I'm trying to clean up my room before I head over there. And then after my IEP, I will probably pack my stuff up, go home, because I do have the cleaning lady coming in tomorrow, so I will probably just come in and lesson plan for next week tomorrow. Today, we got some stuff done. We got math done, we did factoring, and it was one of those, have you ever had a lesson where you're trying to teach the kids, but you have a couple of kids that are convinced that they happen to be smarter than you, and you're trying to teach the lesson, and they're telling you, no, that's not right. That happened a couple of times today, but eventually the kids got the idea of factoring. For whatever reason, every year, it's hard for kids to understand the difference between a factor and a product. So we did several factor trees together, and I think by the end of it, they had it. I did assign some homework over the weekend, which I don't do all the time, but sometimes it's necessary. And I don't think it'll be too difficult because they seemed to grasp it by the time we had done a few examples together, and they have a YouTube video as a support system for them. So I'm gonna head out because it is now 2:59. I'm supposed to be up there in about 1 minute, and I'll see you in a while. Okay, it is I don't know what time it is. 4:56. It's 4:56. I'm here a little bit later than what I thought. I was done with my IEP at about 4 o'clock, so it took about an hour. It was an easy one. The student that we talked about is actually making some good progress, so we had a lot of good news to report. And I came back and I updated my grade book because as I came back, my administrator who has access to my grade books asked me when I was going to be updating that, and I was like, I promise you I'm going to do it. I was working on it today. So I got the grades that I have entered. I don't have a ton though because we had a week off, and we've just been really busy. We haven't really been able to complete much. So I decided to stay a little bit longer just to get that done. I also spent some time reading you guys' comments from yesterday's episode of Vlogmas. And I know a couple of you mentioned that I did say that when the weekends come, I don't know how exciting they'll be because sometimes my weekends are pretty low-key and mellow. Like tomorrow, I just have a bunch of adult things that I have to take care of. I need to try and get my dishwasher fixed. I need to see about getting my car serviced. I need to see about paying some bills and just things like that. So I don't know how exciting that will be. But a couple of you asked or suggested that maybe you guys can pose me some questions and then I can answer those questions on the weekend, which I think is a great idea. It's a great backup plan. So if you have questions that I haven't answered, you're more than welcome to ask them, and then if I'm desperate on the weekend to show something, I can definitely answer them. One of you, and I forgot to write down her name, I want to say it's, let me look, hold on. I want to say it's Marika, asked me about my tattoo. So one of the questions she had was she wanted to know if I could explain, I think is Marika, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, Marika Barkuzian. If you're watching, hi. I'm sorry if I messed up your name. I know how that feels. People butcher my name all the time. But she was asking me if I could talk about my tattoo and the significance of my tattoo. So sure, before I leave, I will do that. So I've had a couple people ask me about it. So here is my tattoo. I've had this probably for a couple of years, and honestly, years ago I would have never thought I'd be the type to have a tattoo because I just didn't think I'd want to do it. And then suddenly, not really suddenly, I thought about it for a while. A couple years ago I decided to get one, and at that time I was really just at a place where I felt like I needed to focus on the positives in my life. There was a point, not to get extremely personal, but there was a year where I just wasn't keeping proper perspective on my life. I was just convinced that my life was not going in the right direction because I was of a certain age and I wasn't married and I didn't have kids and I didn't have any prospects of that, and I just was really harping on that. When I was in high school, my life plan was I was gonna be married by the time I was 25 and have at least one kid by the time I was 30. And at that point I was past that, and I didn't seem like I was gonna be anywhere near that. And I was very focused on that, and it was kind of like a darker, or to be honest, it just was not a good year. And so after that, I spent a year, and on Facebook I posted every day, and I posted one thing I was thankful for. And sometimes those things that I was thankful for were very significant things like health, family, and whatever. And sometimes they were very just silly, superficial things. My rule was, if I thought of something or had something that happened to me or experienced something in any day that gave me any type of joy, I would be thankful for it. So one day I posted that I was thankful for Chick-fil-A sauce because I was eating Chick-fil-A. I had some Chick-fil-A sauce, and in that moment I was as happy as you could be. And in doing that, it really helped my mood. Like, it really helped me to just stay focused on what I do have versus what I thought I didn't have. So I did that for a year. It was helpful to me, and I know some of my friends on Facebook really liked it because it helped them to think of the positives. So after that, after that year was over, I wanted to continue to be in that mind frame. And so I decided to get a tattoo to remind me of that. So my tattoo says love life, and it has a little infinity symbol, and it's just something to remind me that I need to love the life that I'm living. I cannot spend too much time focusing on the life that I thought I was going to have. I need to really focus on the life that I currently have and what that life has to provide. Because when I put things in perspective, I really don't have much of anything to complain about. I have my health, I have my family that is a cohesive unit and loves me and takes care of me, and I feel the same way about them. I have great friends. I have a career that I'm very passionate about. I have a home, I have a car, I have clothes, I have food to eat. So that's really what I should be focused on, and enjoying that. So the tattoo is here just as a visual reminder. So it wasn't necessarily something that I wanted people to just see, which is why it's here. It is really just for me and for me to see, and if someone happens to see it, that's fine. I went and got it done with my friends Liza and Gina and Patty, who also works in the office. And if I can find the photo, I'll show you the day that I got the tattoo. But that's really the story. It's just a visual reminder that I need to focus on the positives of my life and focus on all the good things that are happening in my life, and not get stuck on what I don't have or what I perceive to be lacking in my life. So that is my tattoo story. There is a part of me that wants to get a second one on my foot because one of my bucket list items that I've accomplished is I did run a half marathon a few years ago, and that's something I would have never thought I could do. Years ago I didn't run. If I ran for a minute, that was a miracle. So to be able to run 13 2/10 miles in 2 hours and 7 minutes was a huge personal accomplishment for me, and I wanted to recognize that by getting a tattoo on my foot. I just haven't done it, and I just kind of like the idea of a tattoo. Like when I'm an old lady, it'll be there to remind me of my youth and all the things I did in my youth. So that's my tattoo story. My dad didn't like it. He thinks once you get one tattoo, you're gonna have a sleeve running up and down your arms. Some teachers are very wary. Is it weary or wary? some teachers are very, I think it's wary. Some teachers are very hesitant of getting a tattoo because they don't want parents to perceive them a certain way, and I've actually only had the opposite. I've had parents be very interested in them and the story as to why I have it, and I feel like tattoos are really common now. The kids don't make a big deal out of it, and to me it's an expression of who I am and a part of my life. So that is my tattoo story. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm getting ready to go home, edit this vlog for you guys. Thank you so much for all the positive comments on day 1 of Vlogmas. I do think this is going to be a lot of fun. I will see you guys tomorrow morning, and just a forewarning, don't be startled because I might not have makeup on in the morning, and it's an experience. I don't think that I look the same without makeup, but I just want to keep it real, and I do not wear makeup if I don't have to go anywhere. So anyway, you guys have a good Friday night. I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Stay safe, and that's it.